This is, okay, hello. Can you come up here? Okay. Let's try this again. This is the long-awaited update that approximately 0 people asked me for. It's 4:20 on Wednesday, August 18th. I have been in Denver for 3.5 months now, which is a little crazy. That kind of went by really slow and then really fast. The first 2 months were absolutely brutal, and I am just not gonna sugarcoat any of this. It was really brutal for a few reasons. Number one is I have never felt that homesick in my life, which makes sense because I've never been this far from home for this amount of time in my life. I, at one point, was ready to pack my bags and move home. Now, the saving grace was that I had talked to a lot of people who had made a big move of some sort, and they all told me the timeline of their experience, which was 2 months, it's gonna feel like hell, it's gonna feel like it's the worst decision of your life, and you're gonna feel like it's just awful. 2 months hits, you're starting to feel like, okay, like maybe I got this. 6 months hit and you actually start to feel comfortable. A year hits and that's when it actually starts to feel a little bit like home. So with that being said, during the first 2 months, I was like, okay, I just have to stick it out. I made this decision to move here for a reason. And so, I trusted my gut and I went off of that. Now, obviously it was really hard, but, I stuck with it. And then the 2-month mark hit and I started to feel okay. Like I was like, all right, like this isn't home. I'm still, out of my comfort zone, but I'm feeling okay. A big reason why this was hard was because I moved here by myself. I don't have a boyfriend. I didn't move here with friends. I don't have family here. Now, I will say that I do have a few friends that I knew here already, which, were very helpful. And I am honestly so grateful for the people that I know and the connections that I made, even through, mutual friends, was really awesome. I think that, I am pretty good at making friends and it's pretty easy for me to connect with people, but it's also a different story to form friendships. That is tough, right? Because you can be friends and friendly and have a lot of acquaintances, but it's really like, who can you call when you're having a really, rough day? Or maybe, you just want to chill and watch Netflix and drink a glass of wine, right? Like, who are your people who you really form a real connection with and can form a friendship with? And those friendships take time. And I think, in Delaware, we're so fortunate because we grow up pretty much knowing the whole state, right? And so, moving here, that was a big adjustment for me. Now I feel like I do have, a few girlfriends who I hang out with on a regular basis. So that, I will say, is probably what's made me feel, more comfortable and more like I'm actually settled in. Another thing that, was hard was knowing where things are. Back home in Delaware, again, we're really fortunate that we live in such a small state that we pretty much know the entire state and where everything is. I remember being here for I think I was only here for a few weeks, and I was out running errands and I realized that my gas tank was low, and so I had to type into my phone, closest gas station, and I was on my way and I made a wrong turn and I already was really stressed out, already feeling homesick, already feeling this was the worst decision. And when I tell you, I just had a breakdown in my car. These are things that you don't really realize are gonna affect you when you move. Yeah, it's definitely been an adjustment. This has been the hardest thing I've ever done for myself. Not the hardest thing I've ever gone through, but the hardest thing that I've ever done for myself, the hardest decision I've ever made. And I think that it's going to end up being the most rewarding thing I've ever done for myself as well. There's been so much that I have learned about myself that I wasn't even prepared to learn about, and I think that will be kind of a whole nother video, because I want to go into detail more about how this has really affected me more like emotionally and mentally, and what I've learned from it. Yeah, it's been really hard, but I've also had people reach out to me and ask me, for advice, and they, are thinking about moving someplace, and I'm straight up with them. I tell them, like, it's going to be the hardest thing you ever do, but you should do it. And I would tell anybody that I would do this process already, over and over again if it was presented to me. I wouldn't make a different decision. Now, moving on to some questions that I've gotten. Am I going to stay here? If you would have asked me, I don't know, a month ago, I would have told you, no, absolutely not. When my lease is up, I am moving home. But now I feel like I may want to stay another year after my lease is up. Now, my lease was a 15-month lease, so it's not up until the end of July, so basically a year from now. I don't necessarily think that I will stay in this apartment complex. But yeah, I think that I may want to stay for another year after, because honestly, I just kind of want to have more time to explore. Not just Colorado, but I would love to find time to go up to Wyoming, or Idaho, or Utah, and all of those places. You kind of have to pick specific times to go depending on what you want to see and what you want to do. So I feel like I may want to stay another year after. With that being said, I don't think that this is going to be a forever thing for me, because I really miss the ocean for sure. I am really not even like an avid beach goer, but I have obviously, in Delaware, you grow up having the option to go to the beach within an hour and a half. And I love having that option. I didn't realize how much I was gonna miss it, especially after living at the beach for the past 5 years. Now, I don't know if I would move back to Delaware per se, for personal reasons. I mean, I miss Delaware a lot, but I just don't know if it's my time to go back there yet, which is okay. But I definitely think that after a couple years here, I would move somewhere where there is an ocean. Okay, so the next question is, where am I living? I am in the ballpark Lodo area, so I am right by the Rocky Stadium, which is pretty cool. I do enjoy this area as far as the city goes. I think that maybe when this lease is up, I would like to move a little bit outside of the city and a little bit closer to the mountains. But I am enjoying this area right now. So I'm in the Lodo ballpark area. Okay, so what is my living situation like? Do I have roommates? All the details. I am living in an apartment complex that specializes in co-living. For the most part, it's pretty great. It's a brand new building. Like, the first resident here was in March, I think. So there's been some kinks to work out, but for me personally, it's been good. So co-living, what does that mean? Let me show you a little tour of my place. Okay, so you walk in, here's the mirror, and then this was the TV stand, but we rearranged it to be an entryway table. Here's one bedroom. There's another bedroom, washer dryer. Here is the kitchen area. and then the dining room, which leads into the living room. And then here is another bedroom. This I thrifted off of Facebook Marketplace and redid it. So that's what we just rearranged. And then here is my room, which if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you guys have all seen by now. But I'll just show you anyways. And then this is my closet. And then my big mirror. And then the bathroom. So yeah, that's the grand tour. As you just saw, I have the potential to have 3 roommates. I only have 2 right now. Both of them are guys. I feel like I'm probably gonna be with another guy. Like there's gonna be another guy that moves in probably next month. I'm not sure yet. And that's kind of the fun in it, is that like you have no idea who you're gonna room with. They don't really give you any information because they can't, because of the fair housing laws. But I've gotten pretty lucky with my roommates. One of the guys is 25 and is in the service industry, and the other guy is 22 and does something in finance. But yeah, they're pretty cool. So how does it work? So each room has its own rent price, because each room are slightly different sizes, and rent prices go up and down. So like rent prices are more now than they were when I first moved in. My one roommate has basically the same size room as mine, but his is actually a little bit more expensive because the rent prices has gone up, and he just moved in a couple weeks ago. I picked this place also because it does have really great amenities. It has a rooftop pool and hot tub. In my opinion, the pool could be a little bit bigger considering how big the apartment complex is, but beggars can't be choosers, right? Then it has a really, really nice gym, which is really awesome. And then it also has a restaurant and bar, which is nice on the days that I maybe don't feel like cooking or going out. I can just go and get a shrimp taco or a burger or something. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool concept. Like I said, it's a brand new building, so there are like some kinks in it for the residents at least. But it's pretty good overall, in my opinion. As you can imagine, with me, moving here by myself, I, had found a studio that I really liked that was in my price range, that also had really great amenities. But then I also was thinking about the factor that this would give me an opportunity to meet other people. And I've become really good friends with a couple girls in my building, and obviously it's really cool to, meet new people that you're, the people that you're living with. The other thing about this place is that it also came furnished. Like the couch, the TV, the dining table, the coffee table, all of that was here, including my bed and my nightstand. So that also, one, alleviated a lot of stress from me moving my stuff from the beach here, because then I could just sell my furniture and not have to worry about it. And then number 2, it also saved me money because I didn't have to buy new furniture coming out here. So that was a big factor as well. Other than that, I don't feel like I have any other, moving related updates. So before this video gets to be too long, because I already feel like it's like 10 minutes long, I'm probably gonna make a couple other videos talking about some other stuff that maybe has to do with, what I've learned from this move, if you, I don't know, if you, anything that else that I didn't, mention in this, if you want to know, you can comment below. I hate sounding like one of those, influencers, but sometimes it is what it is. So yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side.